Hi, today we're going to do some wrist stretches and some just wrist exercises. So first things first, we're going to start with flicking the fingers. So just flicking, right? Just getting activated. Right, then we're just gonna kind of spread our fingers apart. Just to stretch all the muscles of our hands. Next, we're going to open and close. So pretty much anything that allows for this like kind of grip or that tight, nice grip, that's going to strengthen. So we're doing a little bit of stretch and strengthen, my little doggy. And then we're going to do some wrist circles. So in one direction, then in the other direction. And that'll get everything warmed up and ready. And of course, pain is not something that we want. We do not want any pain. So if there's any pain, pull back. Right? We want a nice feeling. You might get some stretching, stretching sensations or a little bit of maybe just slight discomfort or intensity, but no pain, okay? Then we're gonna do some yoga, and I'll come a little closer so you can see my hands. So in this, right, we just kind of want the hands down and push into the floor, like really push the floor away from you. And we're just gonna kind of go back and a little bit forward, and back, and a little bit forward, and back, and a little bit forward. So just kind of moving in all directions here. And then we're going to change the orientation of the hands and point them out to either side, so left and right side of the room. And we're just gonna kind of do the same thing. Move forward and back, and using your breath. Your fingers face you. This is going to be more of an intense stretch, especially on the forearms. So just going to your range of motion, just remembering too that all of these exercises, right, and all of these stretches that you do have that relaxin and progesterone coursing through your veins, so you're a little bit more lax and flexible than usual. So just going to about 70% of your normal flexibility here. So just noticing that deep forearm stretch too here. And then if you feel like you're advanced, right, we're going to put down, you may need to bring your knees a little bit closer here. So this is pretty intense. Once again, you'll feel it in your forearms also, right? So just a little bit of weight on your wrists, but not too much, right? And just kind of, if you want to move forward and back here. Okay, and then shake them out, give them a nice shake. So then what you can also do, let me come back a little bit so my face is in. We could do some flexion and extension. So resting your arm on a table, just for video purposes, I'll use my knees, right? And we're just gonna kind of curl the weight down. I have a 2-pound weight. If you have a 1-pound weight or even a bottle of water, like it doesn't have to be anything serious, right? And just really articulating through the wrist here. Of course, no pain, right? We don't want any of that. If a 1-pound or 2-pound weight is too much, you can do this without weight, right? Like this is just something you can do. So that flexion. And if you want a little bit more, you could come up into an extension as well. You could hear my those small little joints in my wrist cracking right now. And if you do want a little bit more, you can kind of put your other hand in like, I'll try to have your wrist go up against some resistance. And then of course doing it on both sides. And you can always shake out your hands after, redo some of that stretching stuff, and hopefully that'll build some strength. Another great thing to do is those hand grippers. You know, like back in the day, those like gym guys used to be like squeezing those things. Those are also really great. Stress balls, something that you can put in your hands and just kind of squeeze. So I hope this helps. Bye.